Whew, hot day today. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to Ethan Van Sciver, 25-year veteran of the comic book industry. I am the creator of Cyberfrog. My new comic book, Cyberfrog Blood Honey, is available for pre-order. There's a link below the description if you'd like to get in on that. I am the illustrator of Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, well, also a big proponent of Rainbow Brite, believe it or not. Somebody who kind of looks at properties from the 80s and just thinks, boy, some of these are garbage and some of these are actually worthwhile. I always liked Rainbow Brite. Well, just recently I started liking Rainbow Brite when I created a parody called Rainbow Brute. And Rainbow Brute, the whole idea behind it was to take all of these girls' toys properties from the 80s and turn them on their heads. Let's actually, instead of taking these boys' properties and feminizing them, the way people are doing right now, they're adding a lot of kind of girly elements to ideas, IPs that are traditionally aimed at boys. Let's do the opposite. Let's take some of these girls' properties, famous girl properties, and then spin them around and aim them at boys. Now I can do that, and it's going to work. Rainbow Brute is going to kick butt. Everybody who sees it likes it. I'm going to launch an Indiegogo campaign for Rainbow Brute one shot. I don't know, probably like October. People, I think, will dig it when they see it. I don't know, a few months back, and I made a video about this, a few months back I thought, you know what, I have a little money, let me go find out who's got the license to do the Rainbow Brite comic book right now. Because if I can get the Rainbow Brite license, I'll just do legit, like I'll make Rainbow Brute part of the Rainbow Brite universe, and I will actually I will change Rainbow Brite, and I'll make Rainbow Brite, more like Game of Thrones style. I'll make it serious, like I'll make it fun and cool and colorful, but I will aim it at boys, and I think I'll be successful. All of this like cute little colorful, kind of thing that was aimed at little girls in the 1980s, it could, irony notwithstanding, I think it would actually kind of work in a kind of funny way if she were at war with these kind of weather-like elemental beings. She could be kind of like this, Xena-esque warrior princess, but very young. I mean, my Rainbow Brite was going to always appear to be 5 years old. Rainbow Brute, of course, looks like a haggard old dwarf warrior. But they're both fairies. They're very small. Anyway, I had all these ideas. I called up Hallmark. Was it Hallmark? I emailed Hallmark saying, just to ask them, just to inquire who has this, and if nobody has it yet, can I get it? And at that time, they were good enough to advise me that Nick Barucci, who was a friend of mine over at Dynamite Comics, they had just sealed the deal that very day. It was very strange. That very day, they just sealed the deal with him to close out Rainbow Brite. So I went over to Dynamite, and I sat down with them, and I had a little meeting. Little pitch meeting, and said, here are some of my ideas for Rainbow Brite. Listen, I'm busy with Cyberfrog. I'm going to do Rainbow Brute. I'm going to do all of these things, but I do want you guys to consider my pitch for Rainbow Brite. I know that all of these, pitches, I think Hallmark had the final approval. They wanted to get 3 or 4 creative teams and choose from them. So Hallmark ultimately made the decision about who was going to handle their property. Now, this comes up today. People say to me, hold on a second, Rainbow Brite lights up comic books once again, by Newsarama staff. Yeah, that Newsarama staff, that is a mighty weapon. That is a mighty weapon to hold aloft and warn off Balrog, thou shalt not pass. Nobody wants to take credit sometimes. They just say it's the staff. Who wrote this? What individual wrote this? Was this a group effort? I don't know why they do that. Listen, finally, they have chosen, it appears, Dynamite has chosen their creative team. And I honestly could not be happier with the way this cover looks. This looks great. She looks like a little girl. Now, I would have made my Rainbow Brite 5 years old because I think that's what the original doll looked like. This is my version of Rainbow Brite. It's just a quick sketch that I did. The doll looked like a little child. She looked almost like a little older than a toddler. So that was my take. The idea of making her, 12, 13 years old? Okay, alright, that's cool. You can do that too. That actually works a little bit better with my character Rainbow Brute. I'm happy with this. This is a really, really good take. The little creepy blue light on her face here. That's a colorist decision here, but overall, I like the way this looks. Let's look at this article. Dynamite Entertainment and Hallmark, okay, today announced the classic character Rainbow Brite comes to comics and brings a little color to your life. The adventure begins for children and adults alike as writer Jeremy Whitley, who I guess writes My Little Pony, and Unstoppable Wasp, and artist Brittany Williams, Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat, and Goldie Vance. So these are kind of Marvel creators. I don't know what Goldie Vance is. I should have looked that up. Deliver a brand new all ages monthly series. Following the massive success of younger reader titles, check this out right here, such as Grumpy Cat, Boo, World's Cutest Dog, Bob's Burgers, Nancy Drew. Dynamite Entertainment welcomes the most colorful girl in the world, Rainbow Brite, to their fall 2018 lineup. All right, now this is the thing. Nick Barucci runs Dynamite. He is probably one of the smartest, craftiest men in comics. I've spent time talking to him. He lives in my neighborhood. He actually lives, his office is 10 miles away from me. Tops, 10 miles tops away. I mean, I go over there all the time. And he knows how to market comic books. He knows how to sell comic books in a down market. In a market where, comic sales are down 6.5%, Nick Barucci is on it, and he's found new ways to sell comics. This is his thing, selling kids' books. This looks like it's going to be a Scholastic book. So he's going to aim Rainbow Brite at Scholastic. I would have done it differently. I would have gone ahead and aimed this right square between the eyes of normal comic book fans, just adult comic book fans. I just would have offered them a more grown-up take. The problem with taking these 80s characters and trying to spin them, respin them, and relaunch them at today's children is that the world's moved on. This property meant something. Rainbow Brite meant something to girls in 1984. And those girls are now in their 40s. So how do you get them? How do you get those women now interested in Rainbow Brite? Well, you've just got to take the character and everything about it and then just offer it with a big dose of nostalgia, some slightly more grown-up take on the character, something a little bit more fantastic and a little bit more fun, a little less childish, and give it a shot. And then also, if you add something crazy like Rainbow Brute, you'll get some boys in there too. That is my take. He's going to do it this way, though. He's going to aim this as a comic book at kids via Scholastic. That could also be effective. I think that's probably the safer route, and that's probably the route that Hallmark bought into as a sales gimmick. Rainbow Brite sales plan. It's not a gimmick at all. Rainbow Brite captured the imaginations of kids born in the 80s, like myself, as a fantasy heroine who could change the world not just through magic but through kindness, stated author Jeremy Whitley. She is a symbol of what can happen when we all work together and fight back against the shadows that want to drain all of the color from the world. That's a great take. In Rainbow Brite, Wisp and Willow are best friends who live in a small town. They are inseparable until one night Wisp discovers something is stealing the color from the world. Okay. To escape their grasp, Wisp must use her wits and the help of a new friend from somewhere else. Then the adventure begins. All right, yeah, that's different. I wouldn't be worried about the color. I would actually legit worry about feelings and all of that stuff. Yeah, I would have Rainbow Brite work closely with the Care Bears. I mean, they are gods of just feel. I guess color. Rainbow Brite. Rainbows come out when the rain ends. It's just more tied to emotion to me than actual just colors. I mean, colors are nice, but they're not as vital. If somebody said, "Hey, they're going to take all the colors from the world away," I'd be like, "All right, well, that's too bad." I'd be more kind of compelled, by the kind of emotional aspect of that. But again, this is aimed at kids. I think kids can relate to colors. And things like that. All right, so the world needs a young hero clad in rainbow now more than ever in a world where things, look at this is excellent. Things are often simplified into black and white, and it's easy for people to turn their back on people not like them, added Whitley. Wow. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? My name's Ethan Van Sciver. I'm being persecuted by the comic book industry for being a Republican. I wonder if that means something to somebody like Jeremy Whitley with this kind of take. That's interesting. Jeremy Whitley is scheduled to sign Rainbow Brite posters from 4 to 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, July 21st at the Pop Minded by Hallmark booth. Oh, cool. So he's going to be at San Diego signing posters. That's cool. We're very excited to release this series for young readers. Why is that happening? Stop it. All right. For young readers, said Nick Barucci. There's my buddy, CEO and publisher of Dynamite Entertainment. Rainbow Brite has some history in comics, so we're pleased to bring her back to print with Jeremy's story, which fans of all ages will love. All right, so the debut issue of Rainbow Brite delivers a wide selection of cover variants, and it keeps doing that. Cover variants providing fans and retailers a chance to collect the whole set. Cover artwork features the talents of Paulina Ganushu, Zodiac Star Force, I don't know, Tony Fleeks, My Little Pony, and a classic cover respectively. So yeah, probably no Cho cover. All right, Frank Cho. A blank Authentics edition will be available as a variant for Rainbow Brite #1, featuring the same great story, but with a blank cover for fans to get their favorite artist to draw their version of Rainbow Brite and friends. All right, so this is coming out October. Interesting. All right, so when this actually hits shops, you will be able to pre-order also a copy of Rainbow Brute from Comic Artist Pro Secrets, and we'll see which is cooler. I do like this, though. I'm very happy about this. At the end of the day, a little heartbroken, a little jealous. I would like to work on this franchise, but I'm going to work on this franchise anyway, just as a parody version, and that will be good enough. It's better to actually have complete control and not have to answer to Hallmark, but yeah, there are people who are saying on Twitter they're doing this to stop you from Rainbow Brute. No, they're not. They had this going on in February, and I was directly involved. I actually spoke to everyone involved about this when it was happening, and I think they ended up making a very, very good choice. If this is the interior artist, this is going to be a must-have book. Let's try this out and see how this is. And this should work kind of hand in hand in a funny way with Rainbow Brute. All right, good. Show your friends you support independent comics while showing the world who you back in the fight against the swarm with the brand new Cyberfrog t-shirt from Crypto Fashion and Comic Artist Pro Secret. Sizes come in small to 5XL, and take your choice of colors between navy blue, white, and black. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and order the Fandom Menace, Go Get Daddy's Belt, Tico, and Soilo t-shirts as well. Link is below in the description. You're going to look great. People love these shirts. They fit wonderfully. Thank you very much. Boy, it is a hot day. It's crazy out. It's like 105 degrees or something. Maybe it's not that hot. I don't know. But I do want to thank everyone. Thank you for your continued support of this channel. Thank you for always being here. I mean, I make Star Wars content. I make drawing content. I make Cyberfrog content. And I make Comicsgate content. I really do appreciate you guys sticking by me and enjoying the variety, or at least tolerating the variety. You can always tell me what you like best and what you like to see more of in the comments. And I do respond, and I do react to that. Thanks to everyone who contributes to the Patreon, to everyone all the super fans who come to the live chats and send me super chats, all of the people out there who buy t-shirts and people who have supported Cyberfrog Blood Honey. Thank you so much. This channel wouldn't exist without you, and I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. See you again soon, later today, with another video. Bye-bye. Hello, potential Indiegogo backers. Hello, friends. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I'm a comic book creator who worked for 20 years for Marvel and DC Comics on books like Green Lantern, Flash, Superman, Batman, and X-Men. But before that, I had a comic book called Cyberfrog. Now, Cyberfrog lasted from 1993 to 1998, and then it stopped when I went to go work for DC Comics. Now I want to tell the story of where Cyberfrog has been for the last 20 years. I want to write, pencil, ink a book called Cyberfrog Blood Honey that tells the story of gigantic alien hornets that come to Earth and conquer it, sending Cyberfrog into deep hibernation, where he emerges now in the year 2018 into a completely alternate reality, a new world where these hornets have taken over, devastated humanity, using human skin to make gigantic wasp hives, and harvesting human blood to make honey to feed their young. Very few humans still exist. But it's up to Cyberfrog to save what's left of humanity and turn back the damage that's been done by these wasps with his brother Salamandroid and his friend Heather Swain. I want you to help me do this. We're going to get colors by Kyle Ritter. He's a fantastic colorist, and he's going to make this book sing. I'd like this to be a 48-page one-shot prestige format, part 1 of 4. So I'm asking you to help me launch the very first Cyberfrog Blood Honey epic graphic novel. Are you in? Will you help me? I hope so. Let's get this frog jumping again.